Sagittarius, hi, welcome to the greenhouse. My name is Sarah, and today's reading for you guys is going to be your energy, the person on your mind's energy, as well as the mutual energy between you guys. And then at the end, I'm going to use a fourth deck to take a look at each of the zodiac signs to see if there's an additional message for you there. But let's go ahead and think about the person on your mind. Please keep in mind this is general, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Spirit, please show me Scorpio. Please show me Sagittarius's energy when it comes to this person. All right, off the bat, we have the Emperor. Sag's energy when it comes to this person. I mean, the Hermit literally flew on their deck. So you might be thinking this person's like a little hard to reach. Show me Sagittarius when it comes to the person. Nine of Pentacles. Or they're just a Virgo, because we have like a lot of Virgo energy here. Nine of Pentacles is like the most beautiful person in the deck though. So I feel like you see this person as very abundant. They are single and efficient within themselves, but that's the kind of single that like you have to convince it's worth it to leave their precious singlehood and enter into a relationship. We do have the moon, so there are some things that remain unseen in this connection, or there's some things you're still trying to figure out. Yeah, the moon to the Seven of Cups is confusion. So let's go ahead and take a look at your person's energy. With the Emperor starting out, I feel like I kind of skipped that. With the Emperor starting out for you guys, this is something that like you're trying to have control and composure over. I feel like you're trying to show up right. You're trying to show up mature. When it comes to a certain reclusion, or this is someone like ready to come out. Like maybe you've been in a moon period or you've been confused about what you want, and now you're getting more balanced and are like, all right, I've learned a lot in this hermit mode. It's time to like take it on the road and show people what I've been working on. But let's go into your person. I got a little caught up on your person being the hermit with how the card fell on top of them. So, but you know your story better than I do, so put it where it fits. All right, the person on Sagittarius's mind. Please show me the energy of the person on Sagittarius's mind. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. Person on Sag's mind. They definitely are closed off a little bit or hesitant with this offer, because even with how the energy is in the cards, like the cards feel dense and like yet nothing's coming out. And usually when it's dense, like a lot of cards will come out. So I feel like their feelings are strong, but they're just not breaching some kind of barrier. I think I want to do you guys like that. And we have Temperance on the bottom, which is you. Interesting. So I feel like your person is slow and steady, but we have to keep in mind that Knight energy is like an offer, but it's not like a full-blown plan. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. So this person's taking their time. I think they're like really keeping tabs on you. They're trying to see how you move in different situations to know if this is something worth coming out of their weird hermit mode or worth doing the work to get you to come out of your weird hermit mode. See, the thing of it is though, you have the hermit over here and it's upright and everything. So I feel like that's someone that retreats into themselves to really learn and understand and reach that deeper wisdom within. Whereas the Eight of Swords, it's like self-imposed imprisonment and limitations, not so much like let me close off the world so I can focus on my internal world. This is just like kind of a self-made trap. So maybe this is how this person is seeing your hermit mode, and they're just like, I don't understand why they're taking so long to come to me, or how long is this healing process going to take? Because the Eight of Swords to the Seven of Pentacles, that is like a little bit of frustration, because this is closed off energy, and the Seven of Pentacles, like look at her face, you know, like she's invested, she's growing this, but she's like, oh my God, this is taking a long time. Like, I don't know if I want to grow these again next season. You know what I mean? Or maybe I should plant these in an area with more light or less light or something, or water them more. But like, they're trying to figure out how to make it easier. Yeah, Temperance with the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords at the bottom. So how to like get past the burden of a certain ending. I'm not sure if this is this was an ending between you two. I don't really get that vibe from the cards. I think it's just maybe one of you is still processing an ending, or both of you are, and you're making sure that this doesn't become like a trauma bond or something like that. Because I don't know, there's hesitation. You seem serious, but I'm also wondering if maybe this Emperor energy is a little like too controlling. Let's get one more for the Emperor, just to get a little more context on the Emperor for Sagittarius's energy. 9 of Wands. So, and then the Knight of Cups. I think you're just like being composed and diligent. What's the word? Discernment. I think you're operating from discernment more than anything, because you don't want to be, I'm getting like moth to a flame vibes here. Like, you don't want to be misled. You don't want to be like all caught up in the gewgaws and then have it not be what you're expecting it to be. Well, I don't want to say not be what you're expecting it to be, because we shouldn't have expectations, right? Like, that's no way to live. But it's not going to be like, it's not going to live up to your hopes, I guess. That's your fear, is that it won't live up to your hopes. Or that it'll put you back in a guarded place. Maybe you just recently reached like a stable position and you're like, well, I don't know if I open up my heart and I make this love offer, if it's going to make me like go back into this hypervigilance state that I just did so much work to like get myself out of. Look, and we have the Hermit. Yeah, so there's like a lot of healing and self-exploration, either within you both as individuals or within this connection. Show me the mutual energy between Sagittarius and the person on their mind, please. Adjustment. Two of Swords, peace. So this person might be calling for a truce after an ending. If that was the case, it's just taken a long time for them to come in and like have prepared it and be like ready to communicate it. Maybe that's it. And you're sitting here like, yeah, I know I was right about this whole thing. Yeah, I'm glad you finally arrived at the accurate conclusion yourself, my man. You know, like maybe there's a little something like that, because I don't feel you being like overly moved or even like altered by whatever this person's energy is coming towards you, but you're definitely on their mind with Temperance on the bottom. And like we said, they do want to release whatever burden around whatever ending. So if you did recently experience an ending, they're wanting to help you process and help like release the burden of grief. But they might not know how to do that without like disrupting the peace to a certain extent. Because also a lot of people think that like silence or just like letting people keep to themselves. Like, listen, we're all different and we need different things. But oftentimes the people that think they need to be left like completely alone in grief or in like a hermit period, they're not like operating from like a healthy monk mode, right? Because even monks are with other monks, you know, they're operating from like a period of isolation. And sometimes it's hard for the people that care about someone in that mode to know what to do, because everything they're hearing is leave me alone, I need space, give me space. But then like everything the other person is inclined to do for the person that's hurting is like to be stable near them, to hold them, to bring them things that are helpful, to be available for any conversation that needs to happen for this to be processed. You know what I mean? So I feel like this might be a false sense of peace, and the adjustment is to get it to real peace, which is both people showing up honestly. One person could be like, I need my space right now. The other person can be like, I can respect that, but I can't feel abandoned by you. So show me how I can show up for you while still respecting that space. Because if someone's asking for so much space that there's just not even any room for this other person, then it's not a relationship. and it is a burden and it should end. And that's how you achieve this balance, how you achieve this adjustment, by realizing it's like not really peace. And we have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. So this is like higher thinking, higher wisdom, kind of calling in, how do I want to say this? Like ancestral wisdom to know what the best thing to do is when it comes to this relationship. But having the Hierophant, this is a commitment, and this is, you know, the Two of Cups is love underneath. So this might just need to be an adjustment to have more peace within this connection. And it might be that like just some truths need to come out, and there might need to be that conversation of who needs what when they're hurting, so that the other person knows how to show up. Princess of Swords, yeah, again, here we go twice, and then we have the Three of Cups, abundance. So the more you guys communicate about whatever this is, the clearer you'll get on what each other needs, because there's something you're observing where you're like picking up all like the signs each other is giving, but I don't think you're realizing that you're misinterpreting those signs from each other, and then are showing up how you think they're wanting you to show up, but that's not the case. So I really feel like there needs to be communication. Bottom line, there needs to be communication. Whether it's, are you going to come out of this hermit mode? What do you need in this hermit mode? Is there room for me in your hermit mode? All right, let's go. I'm going to move this deck, actually. We're going to use the, I almost said the Gilmore Girls, the Golden Girls deck, and go through each of the zodiac signs to see if they have a specific message to add to this. But I'm going to take a sip of my tea real quick. I've been on this lemon echinacea black tea kick. It's so good. Okay. Aries. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with an Aries. We have the King of Cups. This person has strong feelings for you, but they need to communicate them. They need to communicate them. They could have been focused on work for a long time, and here's the Hermit again to get more balance, but they're realizing how their retreat period is actually causing more harm than good for them at this time. Taurus, if you're dealing with a Taurus. Boom, boom. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, this person is still just like wounded. Eight of Cups from something they've walked away from, whether it's you or somebody else, and their head's not right about it. Like they need more time to figure out how they want to release the burden here. I don't think they know quite how they feel, and that's why they're retreating to the extent that they're retreating. They might come back really fiery and passionate after this retreat. This could be like a reconciliation thing, but it's going to be different for all of you, and it's going to come down to divine timing. There is something that's hitting me as far as like mental health is concerned, where this person needs to heal something mentally before they can really come forward. Sag, if you're dealing with a Gemini, your opposite. We have the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups. Can I get one more? And the Lovers. Okay, so I feel like, again, there's a lot of emotion here, and there's a want to come together, but it's being approached from someone like needing maternal energy. So just be appropriate. Just assess the situation and see if they want an appropriate amount of nurturing or if they want to be mothered. That's what I'm going to say. Cancer. Page of Wands. Cancer's looking good to you, or you're looking good to Cancer. Two of Wands. They do have a decision to make here, and it did land on this other page. So they might have a decision between you, the fire sign, and an air sign, and that might be why it's taking some time for them to figure out who they want to make an offer to. And then the Magician on the bottom of the deck. I do feel like this person is preparing a solid offer. And I think it is going to come to you, but just make sure it's not like a rebound situation. Like, it's one thing if people are dating a couple of people, then they find that person that really lights them up, so they put all their eggs in that basket. That's cool. I'm here for that. But if it's like they've really been stringing two people along and then finally make a decision, like, they need time to close out the Page of Swords energetic cycle before they can fully give to yours without bringing in any of it. Who is that? Cancer? Okay, Leo. Sag, if you're dealing with a Leo. We have the Lovers and the Page of Swords. I know it says the Magician, but this is some like weird discount Temu deck my friend gave me. But this is the Lovers and the Page of Swords. So Cancer, I feel like needs a little more information, or you need a little more information. Yeah. I don't know, this person might go back and forth from being like really gloomy to really happy, and you might not be sure how you feel about that, because your name of the game is stability with the Emperor here, right? Yeah, I feel like there's a strong connection and you guys are intrigued by each other for sure, but it's something that's going to create more towers than more stability. Again, it's like it keeps going back and forth, so it's up to you. I feel like this could be a healing opportunity with a Leo, where it's like, you know, you go for it, but you know it's not going to be easy. And no relationship is easy, but like, you know, you're going to deeply trigger each other and you're signing up for that so you can transcend these things together. Like, it has to be a completely mindful choice that was made, and not like just blindly leaning into it, because then you're going to feel like you get whiplash, because one day they're like your Empress, the next day they're bringing a tower, one day it's all this warmth, the next day they're closed off and in a lack mindset. So, you know, this person's fluctuating between lack and abundance, and I just, in general, feel like that's kind of a dangerous vibe to be around. Let them figure out what lane they feel they truly belong in, you know? I don't think you have to like completely cut this person off, but I would definitely recommend a certain amount of distance while they achieve this balance, this emotional grounding. Okay, that was Leo. Virgo, Sag, if you're dealing with a Virgo, we have the Eight of Cups, the Hanged Man is on the bottom, and the Knight of Wands. Someone might have left this connection to be a little promiscuous. I feel like this is walking away to have more fun. So I don't know if you walked away because you were like, I need more fun than this. Like, you're kind of stuck and you're making me feel like I'm spending more time trying to figure out answers than just like living my life, because here you are. So I feel like you probably walked away. Yeah, because you're like, I can give more to myself. I'm hearing the Miley Cyrus song, like, I can buy myself flowers. So I feel like you weren't getting anything from this person that you couldn't give yourself. So you were just like we said in the beginning, I think this is someone you're gonna have to like convince to not be single anymore, and I don't think they're doing a very good job convincing you. I do feel like I have to shuffle though, because I just heard a person crying. I don't know if that's Virgo's energy, but regardless, we just want to go ahead and get that out of there. That's weird. I feel like Virgo is like, I'm not saying they're not emotional, but I feel like they don't show those kind of feelings like too readily. So I don't know what that's about. Sagittarius to Libra, if you're dealing with a Libra. We have the Sun, and this Peace card kind of like fell in my lap. So I feel like this person makes you very happy, or they're going to come in with something that makes you very happy. What's with the Five of Cups? Six of Swords. This person is releasing burdens and moving away from sadness and going towards their happiness. But I would just keep in mind that they have a recent significant sadness, maybe because someone was a little bit promiscuous or just handled them with a little more fire than they were comfortable being handled with. But they're determined on being happy. So if you're worried about Libra being like a Debbie Downer, if you do get a little bit closer, I don't think that'll be the case, but just like ask them good questions around that Five of Cups and see where they're at with it. Because some people like spiral into that toxic positivity of like, fuck that person, fuck that pain, I'm just gonna do me. And it's like, are you really like in that energy and building abundance, or are you like rebelling against rejection and painting it as positivity? If you're dealing with a Scorpio, Sag, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, I hope not. We have the Queen of Wands and the Fool. They're definitely into you, but they might not see you clearly with the Fool on the bottom here. One more for Scorpio. Ace of Cups. They definitely are into you. But again, there's this holding back. So see if it's for good reason or not. I think you'll like what they have to say, but it is a small offer. It might just be like a conversation or a hint, a flirt. You know what I mean? Not like a declaration. Sag, if you're dealing with a fellow Sag. Page of Wands. Ace of Cups is on the bottom. I feel like this person has held back for a long time. Magician on the bottom of the deck. Sag to Sag, it's like, part of it is annoying you guys because you know how each other operates too much. So it's like, even if you're trying to keep your cards close to your chest or be a little bit withdrawn and self-protective, they kind of just like break through that because they get it and they see it. But for whatever reason, you guys aren't like trusting each other. So I feel like this is an opportunity to look at the ways that you don't trust yourself, maybe. If you feel like there's more of a telepathic, and I don't even know why I'm getting that. There's no cards to like signify that, but it does seem like you're just not sure. You're not sure if you want to trust it. You know, it's funny, like I'm being reminded of, who was it? God, I suck at remembering who says good quotes. But it's something like, if you meet your equal before you like or love yourself, you're not gonna like or love them. So maybe that happened and you guys are like trying to see if maybe now that you've done some self-care with all this hermit energy, if it'll be better now. Especially if you resonate with that, it felt like a burden the first time, so we had to end it. All right, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, Sagittarius, if you're dealing with a Capricorn, whoa, that is way too fucking many. That is way too many. We're gonna take all these back. That is way too many. 1 or 2 or 3 cards for Capricorn. Sag is dealing with a Capricorn. See, they're like wanting clumps to come out. No, Capricorn. Maybe watch Capricorn's reading. The Moon. The 6 of Swords. They want to move away from confusion. The Empress. They feel like there's a match here. I think that's why so many cards came out. I think they're getting ready to like spill their guts to you. They just want to make sure it's a good idea to do that. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, Sag is dealing with an Aquarius. We have the 10 of Cups. That's beautiful. What the fuck is the 7 of Swords on the bottom though? Whoa. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands. They might feel like they don't have enough to offer you at this time. But I think it's because they have you on some kind of pedestal. So if they were to just tell you like what they feel when they're next to you, I think you guys would want to proceed. But they're just nervous. They don't feel like they have it all together yet. So they feel like maybe it's a little bit of bad timing. But like, when's anyone ever ready for their 10 of Cups? You know what I mean? Like, we spend our lives manifesting it, and then when it shows up, we freak the fuck out. So I'll just say that. If you're dealing with a Pisces, 4 of Cups. This Pisces has regrets. Maybe in a way that they communicated with you, King of Swords on the bottom. Yeah, because we have the Knight of Swords, Judgment, 8 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Again, just too many cards coming out at this point. but they have this apathy. They're trying to hold something in. Like they're trying to like, I feel like this is somebody like sitting on their hands and not reaching for this cup of love. I don't know if it's because they were told they're not allowed to have it or if they just believe they're not allowed to have it. But this person's very focused on like self-soothing, but in a way that holds themselves back. They might come out of this abruptly and really expose a situation, their feelings, some kind of sound the alarm moment, because we have these two cards and then like the Eight of Wands. And I feel like this is going to cause some kind of disruption in a home environment, because the Five of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles is like competition in the home. And I really don't like that, because you know, competition at work, that's fair, but competition in the home, like, this doesn't feel like healthy competition where you're like pushing each other to become better. This looks like jealousy competition a little bit. And I don't know, I think it's an opportunity for one side of this, whether it's you or Pisces, to just show up a little more emotionally mature than usual. So Sagittarius, this has been your yours and theirs reading. If you liked it, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop a comment letting me know how this applies in your world. I would love to hear from you guys, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.